Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs, with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5, and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Do you bathroom map your city? Know exactly where the restroom is in every store just in case you have a sudden urge? Stop mapping and start living. It's time to meet Emsella. Emsella is an FDA-approved chair that uses electromagnetic energy to strengthen your pelvic floor. One 28-minute session is equivalent to 12,000 Kegels, and 95% of patients report a better quality of life. Call Thrive Alternative Medicine, 850-655-7090, 850-655-7090 for the Emsella chair.
Hewitt Tire and Auto has been in business in Panama City forever. Locals taking care of locals. From the smallest to the largest vehicles, they do it all. But don't take my word for it. Listen to the experts.
Hewitt Tire and Auto, your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Operation Spay Bay Vaccine Clinic in Fountain, Florida, coming up May 16th. Yes, it's 17822 Center Drive, Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay will be having a vaccination clinic on May 16th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Free rabies vaccines with $20 exam going to be in your area, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on May the 16th in Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay. Get them fixed today.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
WGSX New Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! Ha! Yeah! Really make me sweat. Yeah! Still in the hot tub. Yeah! Really make me wet. Yeah! Well. Welcome to the absolutely beautiful Tuesday in Paradise, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey, it's Bike Week, and they are already here. Be careful driving. Take your time. Be patient. Brings in a lot of revenue here to Bay County with the Bike Week. Great people down here. And I want to say this, Newbies is the place to be. All you bikers are listening right now, the place to be this whole week is at Newbies. They got the tent set up, all kind of merchandise, all kind of great entertainment. Every single day something special going on at the mothership. Actually, all 4 locations. But get out to Newbies, too, and for watch sporting events. But all you bikers, get down to the mothership. The tent is set up, merchandise everywhere, great specials. You name it, they got it at Newbies for you for Bike Week. It's also Look Better, Feel Better Week. Jason Kovaleski's with us this morning. Jason, we were talking yesterday with Matt, and there's a special out on Netflix about Hulk Hogan. He got into steroids. He stayed too long in his career. The injuries were unbelievable. The amount of number of back surgeries were incredible. The amount of pain the guy was in later in life was unbearable. He was taking all kind of, he said he was drinking vodka and popping pills like you wouldn't believe just to try to survive with the pain.
Not a good combo.
Yeah, and we were talking about, steroids and, now you have creatine. You really don't need the steroids, in my opinion. And you cannot get big as some of these guys get, and in my opinion, and strong, if you don't take care of steroids. I had a guy that we played ball with, and he's older, and he looks a certain way, and there's no way in earth he could look like that unless he was taking horse pills or something like that. But anyway, Matt's business is, if they would, his business would have been back then, Hope might have lived longer, because when you're taking steroids, what it does to the heart, what you do when you're drinking every single day, what it does to your body, not just your heart, your liver, kidneys, everything, and then sugar, what that does to it. The companies, we're talking about how the companies they're ripping the people off here in America and get you addicted to and make money. Where what you have at your business is natural stuff, natural things. And we were telling everybody, look, if you want to get bigger, stronger, faster, you want to get the big muscles and maybe get into bodybuilding, go see Jason Kovaleski. There's ways to get big like that naturally that doesn't give you a heart attack, won't kill you, and things like that. Tell everybody what some of the stuff you got down there we could come. I think creatine's really good.
Creatine's hugely important, but especially for younger athletes. I mean, food is the ultimate equalizer. I mean, you have optimal hormones, optimal testosterone. The reason these guys are taking stuff like that as they age is because they don't produce that stuff at an efficient rate. So they supplement, hormonal compounds like testosterone and stuff like that to accelerate muscle growth recovery. But at a young age, when you're 16, 17, 18, these kids in high school, they're trying to get an edge. If you can nail your diet, the protein intake, fats intake, and carb intake, you can really grow fast and really put on some size. I mean, I was talking to Coach Brown at Bay High yesterday. I think he's got 9 guys benching over 365 right now, and then we've been putting them on the mass gainer, the creatine, and stuff like that. And they're just using natural things, but they're getting in the weight room and working and getting the food in.
Yeah.
The food is the most important thing. If you go work out and then don't eat and recover afterwards, you wasted a workout, because you tear your muscles in the gym. It's how you eat after, how the proteins you eat, the carbs you eat, the amount of fats you eat that rebuild the muscles. So you have to get those meals in, and you have to be consistent when you're young, because your metabolism's so high. If you're not feeding your muscles consistently, you'll lose size and you won't grow. That's why some of these kids that are super lean can't grow. And I get parents come in all the time, what can we do? What can we do? We're feeding them everything. Sometimes you just got to feed them more. I know it sounds crazy.
And that's feeding the right stuff.
Yeah, and that's why mass gainers and some of these, meal replacement shakes are very beneficial, because it's very hard to eat 6,000 calories of chicken, rice, and broccoli every single day. But if you can get a shake in that's balanced with carbs, good proteins, good fats, and get another 1,000 to 1,500 calories in, it makes it a lot easier to hit your calorie goals.
What is the? It's in a green bottle down there, and you got the different flavor. I can't think right now. Chocolate, vanilla.
That's the Intech Evolution protein. That's really good for people that are trying to, stay more lean and lose body fat, but also maintain the muscle. That's like a low-carb protein meal replacement. So, but it's sweetened with stevia, it's grass-fed, it's isolate-based, there's no hormones, no sugar, so it's really, really good. It's one of the most natural proteins that I found. We're not forced to carry anything at MaxFit. I can go out and choose whatever. I can choose to carry what Vitamin Shop carries. I can choose to, carry what GNC carries. I choose not to, because I don't think they carry very good products. They're very corporate. They try to make the most money. So we try to find the most natural products. Transparent Labs is a really, really good protein. Intech Evolution, which you're talking about, it's the green jug's very good. Like I said, they're sweetened with stevia. They're all natural. There's no artificial sweeteners and colors. But you can come down. We have a sample bar at both locations. You can try our proteins, pre-workouts, amino acids, vitamins for free before you buy anything. And we're located on 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village and in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
I love what Kennedy's done with the I read up the stuff he posted. I really like this man. You look at him, I don't know what his age is. He got to be up in his mid-60s, but he still works out. He looks great, and what he says, I think he really truly believes. But these companies here in our country, compared to other countries, they won't allow you to do certain things, but they put sugar in everything, and to make it taste better. But they're talking about how sugar is addicting. Sugar is like a drug. I didn't realize that. I mean, you take a bite of a cookie, and you think about it. It's hard just to eat one.
I don't want to scare anybody off, but they did a study in the 90s on sugar, and it reacts the similar way in the brain as cocaine. That's how addictive it is, and that's why people get that rush. And then I sit around sometimes and I crave sugar at night, and I'm looking around. I'm like, where's some sugar in my house? And after 10 p.m., my mind's just kind of craving that sweetness, that the carbs and the sugar. So it's very addicting. Anything in moderation can be okay, but the reason we have so much obesity and diabetes in the United States is
cancer, everything.
When you overeat sugar and you're producing insulin so much, your body's like, man, I'm tired of this, and it starts to shut down, and that's where type 2 diabetes comes into effect.
And why I'm so always talking about this stuff is like my mother was diabetic, my brother, both his kids, and my sister and I'm a borderline. My sister and I didn't have a problem with it. My dad didn't. But it's just kind of, and you're seeing more and more younger people getting it. It's just that we're uneducated or lazy parents just feeding their kids stuff out of a box or a can.
The education's tough because you have to really learn how to read labels. Because I used to get those chickens from Walmart. They taste amazing. The pre-baked ones, you go there, grab one. If you look on the side of it, it said injected with high fructose corn syrup. If you want to know why they taste so good, they're injecting sugar into the meat to make it taste sweet and to make it taste so good. And it's addicting.
The other thing, if you care about your health, Max Fit Sports Nutrition, place to go, talk to Jason Kovaleski, but alcohol, those companies, powerful, man. You see every movie, everybody's drinking, everybody's having a great time. I like beer, but I didn't realize how bad alcohol is, and they cover a lot of stuff up there with cancer and everything that causes.
You see a lot of guys that died of steroid use and stuff like that. If you really dig deep into what they were doing, a lot of those guys were drinking. They were taking a lot of painkillers. That has a tremendous bad effect on your system, your heart, your kidneys, your liver. And once that starts to go, that's a painful way to go. But, that's why a lot of these wrestlers die early. That's why some of these, professional bodybuilders die early. They're in the gym, they get hurt, they start taking pills, they start drinking to help, sleep or something. And they take the steroids, so that combination is just a death sentence. So,
if you want to look better, feel better, Jason Kovaleski's got to go visit with. Naturally, do not take steroids. Let's take a steroid caller right now. Mike is on the phone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I bet you hoped I'd never call back.
No. We love you, man.
Oh, I love you too, but the Vols took 2 out of 3 from the mighty Tide in baseball.
Hang up on
Hey, what about softball? What about softball?
Well,
Tennessee did it again.
Go there.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it was softball. Baseball, I can see it. Not softball, but Tennessee did it.
Well, let me tell you what's funny. We can all laugh about it. I love Vandy. I especially love, the Vandegrift, who's, I don't know if their great-granddaddy
They actually got a family members live here in Bay County.
Yeah, no. Was their granddaddy or great-granddaddy A.A. Vandegrift, the Marine Corps general at Guadalcanal?
As far as you know.
Probably.
He was good at building stuff back. Let me tell you, he had some people from across the ocean.
Don and Judy, they got big Vandegrift money, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't call to chit-chat about history, although I will give you a Walton County blessing for the Iranians. Hey, you wake up one night with a Spectre gunship flying in counterclockwise direction over your house. Other than that, I'm all about peace. Jim Bob.
Yes.
Hey, I got a German question for you, man.
Okay.
All right. You know Sonny Jurgensen's middle name? First name was Kurt.
It's Christian, maybe?
No, it's Adolf, man. A lot of people in
Adolf.
your area.
Okay.
Yeah, Adolf. Yeah, Adolf, whatever. I think there were a lot of people in Cleveland named that back in the 30s. I don't know.
None that I know.
That's not funny, is it?
None that I know.
Let me ask you something, though. Seriously, why do Cleveland, the New York Jets, the Tennessee Titans, and the Raiders, they love April? Why is that?
Because they're always drafting in the first four or five picks.
Yeah, the Jets too. That's right. I got another question for you, a Big Ten question. Hey, what Big Ten school has as many Super Bowl winning quarterbacks as Alabama? This is like starters.
Michigan?
Purdue.
There you go, Jim Bob. Hey, Coach Hale, just keep your mouth shut. Okay?
Good job, Jim Bob.
Let's run them down for you there, Scooter. We got Drew Brees.
Yes.
Bob Greasy.
Right.
Help me out. Len Dawson.
That's the 4.
Okay, I'm sure I'm missing somebody.
Not really. I mean,
I don't know why I thought Greasy played at Michigan.
No.
Sunday.
His son did.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Anyway, I mean, we all got CTE, so I understand the confusion, Coach Hale. Anyway, hey, let me ask you this, Coach Hale. How many Super Bowl winning quarterbacks has Tennessee produced?
0.
1.
One quarterback, 2 championships. Thank you.
Oh.
And his brother Elijah is 2-0 against Brady.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, enough dilly dallying. I can't wait, but I've got to wait for football season. I got to tell you something. I think that ranking you read out the other day, the way too early.
Yeah.
I think that might be about the start of the season.
Yeah.
Because I got zero confidence in Tennessee being number 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
I hate to say that.
I don't know.
I
like the coach. I like Heupel. I
like
think
him too.
I think he's good. I do.
I tell you what, I like his defensive coordinator though, but they say he's very complicated, Coach Knoll, and they already had a gangster quit on him, and
that's a good thing.
Well, hopefully he will leave. They had to kick a gangster off last year, Boo Carter, but you got to know your gangs when you recruit.
They pay him $3 million though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
Anyway, y'all go get your supplements from Jason. And I've discovered this new. I mean, drunk jokes went out of style about 45 years ago, but I've discovered this great tonic water named after a famous Montenegrin, that's Black Mountains, of Yugoslavia. It's named after Marshal Tito.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think go to Newbies and order you a Tito's. Y'all take care. Love you. I won't
Bye,
bother you
man.
for a
Have
while.
a good one,
Bye.
man. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We already mentioned about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to live longer, have a good life, get off sugar. Don't let your kids have it. Get off sugar and alcohol. 2 things you need to avoid. Hard to do. I like that cold beer. Especially donuts and ice cold beer is kind of hard to get away from. Anyway, Beef O'Brady's in Lynnhaven. I love Pat Perno. City Commissioner over there is incredible. He is the best of the best. Go check out Beef O'Brady's Lynnhaven. And don't forget, we got the bikers in town. Drive slow, be patient. They're here. They're wonderful people. They bring a lot of money to Bay County. Get out to Newbies, have a great time. They got the tent set up. They got merchandise for you all day, every single day this week. That's Miss Newbies. Go check it out, all you bikers. Have a wonderful time there. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. We were there for lunch yesterday and back last night for dinner. We had a great time. I saw the legend himself, J. Michael's. The best seafood, ice cold beer, the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. Go check it out. Now, if you're looking for jewelry, you got a special wife. She is the blessing in your heart. You might buy her flowers one day, but what you really need to do is go down and see David Adams. Go see Russ, Amber, and Patrick. Get her some good jewelry, or let her pick it out herself. Go check it out. You'll be glad you did. We'll be right back with Jim Bob, James, and the one and only Jason Kovaleski. Be right back.
Atlanta Braves baseball is back.
Swing and a drive. That's hammered deep right. He jumped on one and hits a homer.
We're your exclusive radio home for the Atlanta Braves.
At the wall. It is gone. A grand slam for Acuna.
Hear every exciting home run, every strikeout, and every thrilling victory on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 78 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south. Some clouds tonight, a light breeze and hot near 70. Partly sunny and 78 tomorrow. 79 and mostly clouds in the early morning, followed by a possibility of thunderstorms with a gentle breeze Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
You've been low-key thinking about dropping a podcast. Well, now is the time to start, brah. Sports, politics, finance, science, health, real estate, music, interviews, surfing, conspiracy theories, or alien abductions. Ready to main character your own content? We can make it happen with Turnkey Podcast Productions from 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Our local, modern, state-of-the-art multimedia recording studio is now available for booking, starting at just $100 an episode. Take your fandom to the next level. For more information, text the keyword studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio 215-6290 or jam over to ESPNPC.com. Bruh.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves and Tigers kicking things off tonight. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Tidal Wave Auto Spa is the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and your go-to car wash destination all season long. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com to find a location nearest you.
The Braves now 8-0-1 in series this year, but this might be the most difficult series we have seen. The Detroit Tigers are on an absolute roll. Spencer Torkelson has home runs in 5 straight games, and the pitching this team will see is next level. Casey Mize gets the ball in Game 1. He's 2-1, has a 2.51 ERA. But how about this? Wednesday, Tarek Skubal. Thursday, Framber Valdez. If you're looking for great pitching matchups and looking at great opposing pitchers, this series is for you. Braves, of course, 20 wins on the season, first team in Major League Baseball to get to 20 wins. Like I said, Casey Mize on the hill for the Tigers. Opponent's just hitting 114 against his splitter, so the Braves have their work cut out for him. For leadoff show, 6 o'clock Eastern, first pitch between the Braves and Tigers, 7:15 across the street at Truist Park, and you can hear all of it on the Braves Radio Network.
Now, it's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. One of my favorite days, every Tuesday. Man to my left has made me wealthy, Jim Brandt. 30, golly, since 1990. Yep. Wonderful man. Great, love him to death. And then Jason Kovales. Jason and I have been doing this together. How many years now? 10?
At least, yeah.
10 years, or maybe 11. I can't. Next, going on 11 years, we've been doing radio together. Enjoy having these guys in here. Now, these college athletes, and if you want to give us a call today, 215-6290, beautiful day here in Paradise. You see these college players now. I feel bad for them in some ways. Now, we didn't get any kind of money back in the day. You know, we used to get money for to wash your clothes, and they cut that out. All of a sudden, they cut doing that out. We could sell our tickets, and we would play Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and we could make money that way, and we did a little bit. And then they figured that out. They could kind of cut that out. And the whole time, the universities and people were making money, and we weren't. But we were okay because we got these football scholarships. Well, the main reason I feel bad for these kids right now, most of them, not all, but you look at the NFL draft and you see the guys that drafted and look at the ones now making NIL money. There's a big difference. We can look at Vandy's quarterback, made big money NIL, not going to make anything in the NFL, doesn't look like. Carson Beck, Miami, making 4-point-something million. NFL is making 1 point, whatever it is. It's a big difference, less money in the NFL. So what I'm getting at, some of these guys are going to make the most money they ever made in their life at 17 to 20 years old. 17 to 20 years old is going to be the best you've ever done in your life. As they get older, they've wasted that money away. They got everybody in their neighborhood trying to get a piece of that pie. And we know that. Trent Richards is a great example of that, whatever happened over at Scambia. All the family members wanting his money and everything else. You look where he's at now. They will never get that degree because why? A lot of them transfer. How many times? Some of them 5-6 times have transferred so far.
It's crazy.
There's no way in the world they'll ever get a college degree because at each university you have certain criteria to get a degree, and you got to work towards it every year. They'll never go back to school and get it. 90% of them won't. So they're going to be sitting up there. Some will turn to drugs. Some will turn to alcohol, which is a drug, really. And I just think they're going to have a tough life. In the old days, you had to go to university. You couldn't transfer out. If you did, you would sit out. You couldn't get a scholarship that 1 year. And you had to work towards your degree every single year. So, yeah, they're making, and a good thing, they're making some money now. But the other way is they don't care about them getting their college degree. They don't care about their future. They're being used, and they're using the universities, more or less. So now we see another thing with this NIL money. I'll let you guys talk about it. He started out at Indiana, Cincinnati. Now he's the quarterback at Texas Tech, and I don't have his name in front of me.
Brent Sorsby.
Sorsby, that's it, Sorsby.
Was the number one quarterback in the transfer portal ranking, so everybody wanted him. So,
well, let me ask you this. How can you bet? I thought you had to be 21 years old, and he's been doing this for years. He wasn't 21 years old. How did that happen?
I have no idea. Some states might be 18 because it said that he was betting on an app and bet over 5,000 times. But obviously, most people have known what happened. He was betting on football games, on a game that he was a part of the team. Indiana as a freshman, he was betting on a game. Of course, I don't think he played in the game, but he bet on the game that he was on the team. And by NCAA rules, you're ineligible from any sport and banned from any sport if you bet on a college football game that you're involved in.
So he should be done.
He should be.
You would think so.
But I have a feeling that this is going to not play out that way because now that he's in rehab, Texas Tech paid him $5 million to go there. Texas Tech's got a lot of money. I find it hard to believe they're going to make them play with a backup quarterback this year. But we'll see what happens. It's not a good look.
Interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
You're going to open a can of worms if you let him play, and we know this is probably going on way more than what we're seeing.
Wasn't there a pretty famous quarterback at Ohio State back in the 70s?
Schleister.
Yes, that went through this.
Played for the Colts, too.
So tell everybody what he's done. He's checked himself into a rehab?
Yeah, voluntarily. Here's my take on this. A long time ago, I had an administrator at Cape Coral High School, tell me this. Talk about being a parent, being a role model, being a position of authority where you have to make people comply. And she said to me, it's not the severity of the punishment. She said it was a certainty of the punishment. When you say something, what she said was say what you mean and mean what you say. Okay? So as a young person, I'm thinking, as a coach, it's easy to come up with all kind of rules and regulations. You're going to be the hard butt, and you're going to make them do this, that, and the other. But when you do that, at some point there's going to be somebody you may not want to punish that maybe did something stupid. Mm-hmm. So here's why I'm saying this.
The All-American.
Yeah, somebody who's a real difference maker. You say, hey, but you said this, so you better be able to back it up.
Right.
All right. So if there's certainty with it, they wouldn't do these things. I always go back to it, but to me it's all kind of the NCAA. They let Michigan off the hook big time.
Oh, yeah.
They have no credibility, in my opinion, whatsoever. Now, if they allow Sorsby to play after what it says in black and white, if you do this, you are ineligible forever. What's the point?
So he shouldn't be able to play.
Oh, I don't think so ever.
He bet on a game he was involved in. That's a bad look. I don't care what you say.
Well, I thought they'd have to go back and forfeit all those games too, even though nobody else knew about it. I thought that was part of it. Now you can cheat and not have to forfeit games, so I guess they won't forfeit those games he bet on.
I'm not sure. I don't know how Indiana could have known. If they knew, maybe that would be a...
Yeah, tell everybody out there where he played at, what schools he was
Indiana
betting.
As a freshman.
As a freshman.
No, he didn't play.
What year was that? Do y'all remember?
21 or 22?
Okay.
22.
All right.
So all this gambling, and here's the thing. He admitted doing it. He publicly came out and said, I'm in a program for this reason. So it's not even in dispute what he did. Hey, NCAA, this is what he did. He admitted doing it. How can you just let him up and you're going to hear the violin, but the poor Brendan, and he has a problem. Okay, yeah, he does. But there's also consequences for it. Like I'm saying, the certainty of it, that just has to be.
But they know these rules going in. This is something that's been stressed in the NFL, every college sport, every high school. I don't care what you said. They tell you up front, do not gamble, and if there's any gray area, stay away from it. So this is not something like, oh, poor guy, he didn't know what he's doing. He's young. He's got all this money. Well, if you have $5 million, what are you doing betting on football games? You
I
know?
agree.
That is just a terrible look, and it just opens up a can of worms on what else were you betting on and what were you doing in certain games. I mean, if I knew I could make $500,000 and I wasn't going to get caught, some of these guys, and you know it's more widespread than what we're hearing about.
He knows more doing
in the NFL, we hear a lot of guys. NBA, we've seen officials get suspended, players get suspended recently.
Right.
And in college, you're giving 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old guys, some guys aren't making $2 million. They may make $50,000. So what's for them to put another $10,000 on a game that they may be involved in that they got some inside information on, maybe a quarterback's hurt or a running back's hurt or an offensive lineman or something? What's to keep them from betting? That's why the punishment's got to be consistent, got to be to the letter of the law, or else what are we doing here? And I remember 2 years ago, the NCAA was like, oh, it's okay for college athletes to bet on sports as long as they don't bet on the game they're playing in. And we were like, what? What kind of?
Yeah, I do remember that.
That is
maybe they have some information. Everybody's been doing it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think it's
so. Let's cover our butts.
It's so widespread that we can't bust everybody, so we might as well let them. Right. It's kind of like NIL to me.
We got to take a break. We'll get back on this. We get back, got Jim Brett, FSU, then we'll get back on this bet. And here we go again. That's what we're talking about. Young kids, 17 years old, getting this type of money. It's just really, they need some guidance. I hope these universities, I know Saban did at Alabama, they got it set up when he was coaching there, all kind of things where the kids wouldn't be doing it, hurting themselves.
Right.
So it's not all great, them making this big-time money. That college, to me, the college degree is more important. And people say, wait a minute, if you got $5 million up front, you should be able to invest that money and you should be good regardless of the college. I kind of get that, but how many are going to do that?
At 18, 19? If you gave me $200,000, I was in like school. I mean, I thought I'd be rich, you know, but $200,000 doesn't go 40 years, you know what I'm saying? That's pennies compared to what the entire lifetime of money making would be. So it's a different world, I'll just say that.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some of our great people. We've got so many. Hey, the legend, Dr. Ward. Skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 development. Women, stay out of tanning beds. And if you're outside your house, you're sitting in the backyard reading a book, put suntan lotion on, wear a hat. Sooner or later, you're going to pay for what you do. And Dr. Ward's going to be there for you. 1 in 5 developed skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, call, make an appointment, and listen to Dr. Ward every Wednesday at 7:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We all love Mexican food. We are pumped up. We finally got Pepper's Mexican Grill on Panama City Beach. We know we had a great one over there across from the mall on 77. That place, they had the best chips over there. Food's incredible. When you go over there, tell them Coach sent you. But now we can go to one in Panama City Beach Parkway. Yesterday was Military Day. You get a 10% discount every Monday. When you buy a house margarita, next one's free. When you buy draft beer, next one's free. Get out there, great place to have a birthday party. And if you go into any sporting event or high school, go get your little pregame meal there, and then after, stop in and have an ice-cold beer or drink, whatever you want. Pepper's Mexican Grill. Tell them Coach sent you there and have a great, great time. Also, don't forget it's Bike Week. Miss Charlotte's got everything set up for you, all you bikers. Every single day, Kathy and them have something planned out. The tent's up, merchandise, specials, you name it, drinks, great times, great entertainment. Newbies and Bike Week, they go hand in hand. We'll be right back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
They've got the heat, and we've got the call.
And he is toast. Swung on and missed.
With Chris Sale leading the charge and Spencer Strider bringing the fire back to the mound.
It is a 1-2-3 shutdown inning for Chris Sale.
The rotation is locked and loaded for 2026.
Struck him out. Went down and away with a nasty splitter.
Hear every masterpiece and every high heat save on your home for the Atlanta Braves. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
The legendary Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina, home for the most popular drink specials in town and now on the beach. Enjoy 2-for-1 house margaritas and draft beer all day, every day. 10% off on Military Mondays, and Tuesdays kids eat free with an adult. Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina, now with 2 locations. Back Beach next to Home Depot and Highway 77.
Give them a call. Phone lines are open. 850-215-6290. The Coach James Hale Show is taking your calls live and local. From the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State. Woo! FSU update. We just talked about them. Get out to Newby's 4 wonderful locations. St. Andrews, big, beautiful facility. Newby's here on the curve. Go watch Go watch all sporting events, and then it's Bike Week. Get out to the mothership. They got the tent set up. They got all kind of merchandise, all kind of entertainment, drink specials, you name it. They got all kind of stuff going on in Newby's. All you bikers, get down there. You don't have to be a biker to go enjoy it. Go watch everything. Get out to Newby's, have a great time, and tell them Coach sent you. All right, Jim, what do you got for us today on the mighty Florida State Seminoles?
Well, we're going to combine Florida State draft experience and the NFL draft and just things in general. I'm not going to talk about a specific sport per se, just general trends. You know, as I'm watching the draft for 3 days, writing all this crap down, it became very obvious that Florida State wasn't going to have very many people. They got one drafted in the 3rd round, Darrell Jackson, who was a transfer guy, started at Miami, went to Florida State. And then I saw online, that's the 4th time in, I think, 7 years where Florida State's only had one guy drafted. Okay?
Really? Wow.
4th time in 7 years. So I'm saying to myself, you know, the big savior for Florida State's going to be, well, yeah, they're going to be taken into the Big Ten, or they're going to be taken into SEC, or, you know, something's going to happen where they're going to combine. You know, there's so much talk about, we said it ourselves, you know, not all conferences are created the same. And if you look at the numbers from the draft, that's 100% accurate. They are not the same. I'll just give you an example. SEC had 87 guys drafted. Big Ten
record.
Record. Big Ten had 68. ACC had 38. Big 12 had 38. All right? So over half the draft picks in the NFL draft came from 2 conferences. 60% for the SEC and Big Ten. 60%, okay? Listen to what I'm saying. 6 out of 10 from 2 conferences. Now, what's that got to do with Florida State? Well, look at the ACC. You know, they had 38. Well, Miami had 9. Clemson had 9. That kind of surprised me. You know who the next highest? You know who the next highest was? Boston College. Boston College. They're terrible. They had 4 guys. But also at the bottom feeders, I'm talking about the ACC. Louisville had 1. Florida State 1, SMU 1, Pitt 1, Cal 1, Virginia none, Virginia Tech none, Syracuse none.
Wow.
So I'm saying to myself, you know, if you're a big power broker, are these the teams that you want to include in some other conference? You know, it's like, do they really bring anything to anything? You know, maybe Florida State in the past has, but they're one of the bottom feeders. I hate to say that. I'm not trying to be ugly or hateful. It's just statistically true. I mean, they're not doing anything, and neither is their conference. Well, also by the same conference, the Big Ten has them too. Maryland 1, Nebraska 1, Rutgers 1, Minnesota 1, Wisconsin, Purdue, and UCLA none. Okay, so I'm thinking
that's kind of hard to believe UCLA not
none.
Wisconsin's hard to believe.
Wisconsin, none.
Barry Alvarez, what he built.
So here's what, and then I thought as I was looking at these numbers, I was thinking what James had said the other day about the way too early poll, and we kind of poo-pooed it and laughed at it, how they're talking about Boise State and Houston and all these other. Okay, Boise State I think had 1. All right, Houston had 1. The other Utah, Utah they had 3.
BYU.
BYU had, I don't have it on here, but
probably none.
1 or no, just a couple maybe. It's so here's the Big Nate. Put your glasses on.
I can't see. Let's take this phone call. Good morning, sir.
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
What's up, Big Nate?
Good.
Hey, so you guys are talking about a very interesting topic, and it's come up several times at several different times in my life with different people, either on the radio or just in the bar or whatever. College football, right?
Yep.
Is basically a premium product. And the only way that I can see with everything that's going on with the NIL and all the coaching and all this is for college football to adopt the Premier League system, just like in soccer in England. Because it gives you a fair opportunity to reach the higher levels. And it gives you a fair opportunity for schools to then go out and recruit as such. Now, if you're never going to be number one, you never have that desire, you're all about academics, that either just stop playing football or put yourself in a lower classification. Because D1 is overpopulated as it is. So either by adding a different division, like 2, everybody gets pushed down 1. So you have, D4 now, D5, I don't know, junior college.
Yeah, kind of like the high schools have, yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, the cream of the crop's out there because they're always making the playoffs. Now, there would be basically a 3-year run where you're making your run, and if you don't finish in the top so many of that division, then the teams that finished higher in the division behind you have an opportunity to play a bowl game and beat you for your spot for 3 years.
Okay.
Could be interesting.
I just think it would add a dynamic that we don't have in college football, and it would keep teams honest and on the ball, or they just will never make the Premier League, and they'll never have a chance at a national title.
I'd be honest. I thought we would be further along at this point with the SEC Big Ten breaking away and being the super conference. But I don't think they can get along. They can't figure out, how many teams they want in the playoffs.
24 to 16.
They don't want to share revenue at all. So ESPN,
Fox, you take it out of their hands. You just take it away from them.
The problem is the people that are making decisions for college football are the TV executives. I mean, they rule the sport.
That's true.
And they can't come together because they want to keep all the money. So the Fox doesn't want ESPN to get Big Ten money. ESPN doesn't want Fox to get, SEC money. So until they can get together, and it's the unfortunate, place where we're at, nothing's going to change.
That's the reason you're not going to see the SEC give up that SEC championship game. The commissioner more or less said that.
And that's why I don't think we would see a system like this, because you take that, tier 1 away from like a Boise State or something.
It should be 1A. That 1A should be the Big Ten SEC national champ, and then 2A would be ACC Big 12. Mountain West, and throw another conference in there, 3A. And the Sun Belt, the Conference MAC. USA, whatever, A4, whatever. However you want to name them. And let them have their, like he's talking about, let them have their national championship, let them have their set of rules. Because as we go forward, those things I think are going to get worse. The ACC and the Big 12, they just don't have the money that Big 10 SEC have.
But if you're able to make a Final Four or win the championship at that lower tier, you should be able to advance to the next tier and see how you can do. And if you can't, compete with the big boys, then you go back down.
But you have to have X amount of money to get in, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because you're not going to compete with Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon.
Maybe Alabama.
If you're a Boise State, you're just never going to do it because they're just going to go in, take your best player, and say, "Hey, here's $2 million. Come over here. You're really good. Why are you playing at Boise State?"
And if you do what we're talking about now, you could have it broke down like the NFL. You would have 32 teams or something like that.
Yeah.
You got a number now you can really work with.
Indiana is really unexplainable, so that we can't use that as a template because we've never seen it. So if you go on based on that, because I think they had 5 draft picks.
Indiana had. Let me look. They had 8.
8. So I would think they were on par with like Clemson. That's a bad look for Dabo to me.
Well, here's the other thing that you guys got to really look at, though, is that no matter how many draft picks you have, or how many people picked up those draft picks, you've got to look at the fact that how many of those kids are actually going to be still playing football after a year.
Yeah.
Because they can get cut.
But they got the opportunity where the other ones did.
Right.
Let me go back to Indiana. From 1995 to 2025, you many first-round draft picks Indiana had? Zero. Not one.
You know how many winning seasons they had?
This is a movie, man. We're witnessing history. We're seeing something I never thought would happen.
That's why I'm very interested to see what they do this year and how good Cignetti can sustain this, because last year was something we've never seen before. Like you said, it was a movie. I mean, 16-0 with that program being the losingest program in history.
Did you ever think, speaking of history, you ever think at FSU would be like it is now?
No.
We went all those years with Bobby Bowden. They were terrible before he got there.
Yeah.
And then he turned it, and then Jimbo kind of kept it going. And it's hard to believe how bad it is. It's like Auburn going 5 years.
Here's another.
Well, isn't that because your local state talent is getting sucked up by everybody else, though?
I just don't think they have the money. You got like these huge boosters like a Mark Cuban, like the Miami guy that can go in and give a high school kid $2 million. I don't think Florida State has that. With the stadium renovation also, that put them in a little bit of debt that I think they're paying 2 other coaches buyouts right now that are not coaching. When you couple that with everything that's going on, I just don't think they have the money to go out and get the players and build the roster. And when they went out and got DJ, the quarterback, I think that was a program killer. They went 2-10. And when you don't have the momentum to go out and be able to tell high school kids, hey, we're going to win and get you to the NFL.
Remember when they all backed out and didn't play against Georgia? That showed. That's kind of
that was the downturn.
The
snub
taking my ball.
started it.
I'm going home.
The snub started it, and then we saw Georgia beat them like 60. They could have scored 100 points. Everybody was like, Georgia, and I was like, Florida State played their backups. I said, yeah, but Georgia did. So that shows you the depth of their roster versus the depth of Florida State, and it was a complete beatdown. So.
Right.
Well, you guys have a great morning. I got to get back on the road, but you guys are always on my heart.
All right, buddy.
Man.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Colin.
you so
Appreciate
much.
you, buddy. Let's talk about some of our great people. We talked about the Vandergrift family. Oh, my God. TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting. Kyle will be on this Thursday with us. If you're looking to get a roof, go TK Vandy Roofing. You want something built, it can be a schoolhouse. It can be anything. It can be a building. It can be a house. And whatever you want built. They design it. They build it, commercial, residential. They're the best at what they do. They're incredible. Also, Turf Pro Pest Control. Listen to Patrick every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. He'll have your house, he'll have your yard like a golf course. He'll have bugs that'll never go back in your house. They can take care of any kind of problems. That's TK Vandy Roofing and Turf Pro Pest Control, 2 of the best local companies out there, run by great local people. Steve's Bike Shop, 23rd Street. How good, Steve? Well, I'll tell you how good he is. He's been in business since 1979. Electrical bikes are taking over the world. They got new and used bikes. They're incredible. They can work on them. They can do anything. Steve's Bike Shop. He's also the swim coach at Mosley High School. And then Stevenson Air Conditioning. Jason, love that man. Unbelievable. I'll talk more about him in a minute. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The wait is over.
That is gone!
Catch Ronald Acuna Jr., Matt Olson, Austin Riley, and all the boys as the Atlanta Braves look to reclaim the East.
A walk-off home run, and the Braves win it.
Follow the journey to October right here. Your official home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
Man, oh man, is he playing some baseball.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 78 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south. Some clouds tonight, a light breeze and hot near 70. Partly sunny and 78 tomorrow. 79 and mostly clouds in the early morning, followed by a possibility of thunderstorms with a gentle breeze Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Men, 40% of us over 40 experience ED, but the blue pill isn't your only option. And ladies, are you living with bladder leaks? At Thrive Alternative Medicine, they're introducing the Emsella Chair, a non-invasive FDA-approved treatment for urinary incontinence and sexual wellness. It's simple. Sit in the chair, fully clothed for 28 minutes. The Emsella Chair uses high-frequency energy to stimulate your pelvic floor muscles. Patients report better sexual satisfaction and improved bladder control. Call Thrive Alternative Medicine, 850-655-7090.
When he played football, helmets had not been invented yet. Players played both sides, and quarterbacks weren't afraid of needles. It's the Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Give us a call today, 215-6290. Jason Colessi, Big James, and Jim with us this morning. Jim, let's go. You made a great statistic. We're talking about FSU. Tell everybody out there what you just got through going.
Well, like I said, as I was watching this, you hear all this information that's spewed out to you, and they're talking about the backgrounds of some of these guys, and it's like, it seems like every guy had transferred. Like this guy played here, he played there. I don't care where he ended up. He went somewhere else first. So when it was all over, I Googled. I said, what percentage of all the draftees this year transferred at least one time? 48% this year's draft. So that means about half the players that you saw got picked started somewhere else in their career.
That kind of surprises me, actually. I figured it would be more around like 60 or 70% with.
It's heading that way. It's heading that way.
Give it a couple years, it's going.
Yeah.
So,
but these are also
what
the
was
best.
it the year before?
The year before was 37.
But these are also the best players in the sport. So those are usually the guys that the teams are going to retain. So that's still a super high number.
Or somebody needs a player like Ole Miss going and doubling the salary of Clemson's linebacker.
And and we hear all this stuff put out there about this team's a great program. They're this. Let me use Ole Miss. That's another. I'm thinking, well, how many Ole Miss going to have? You know, what I mean, they had two. They had two guys drafted. Two.
Well, but their best players were underneath the quarterback.
Yeah, I know that, but still, two.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to FSU, and let's be honest about this. If you're the SEC, they did a thing, the future SEC expansions, who the SEC would look at. Let's also throw the Big Ten in there, but this is just looking at it from SEC glasses, okay? FSU, if you wanted FSU, they got the national brand. They got strong TV following.
Do they?
Ratings. Right. They still did. Yeah, people watching. We watch them to lose. Got great fans. The cons, we already got the state of Florida.
Right.
Do we need FSU in the SEC? I would love for it to happen. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the SEC is going to touch it.
No, I don't think so either. Especially with the lawsuit that Florida State brought to the ACC. Kind of a bad look. I don't know if any other big conferences, your SEC,
do it to them, they'll do it to us.
Do you want to deal with that?
Yeah.
No.
All right, let's look at the Big Ten. You two guys are Big Ten guys. What's the attraction now? Their national brand, it gets you in the state of Florida. But right now, the way things are going there, would you guys bring FSU into the Big Ten if it was up to you two?
I personally don't see the attraction. I would go after Miami. I think they're in a much better place. I think they have more money. I think it's a more attractive area.
What you got in Miami, you got South Florida recruits.
Exactly. And what do we want?
You got Florida recruits. You got Miami market.
Jeremiah Smith. We want Jeremiah Smith.
All right, let's jump Miami next. If SEC, do we want Miami? South Florida recruits, we're already down there anyway.
Yeah.
There's nobody show up for the games. Are they a national brand? Absolutely. They put a lot of players in the NFL? Absolutely. do we want Miami? I don't think the Florida Gators want us to take Miami. I don't know if we'll take Miami. With the Big Ten, I think it's a home run if you take Miami.
I think if you take Miami and pair them with Notre Dame, that's a home run for the Big Ten. I mean, because there's a little rivalry there, even though they haven't played a lot, but you get those two schools.
I never thought I'd say that over FSU, but now the way things are, Miami's winning, FSU isn't.
Yeah.
And you know the other thing that it was obvious when you watch these guys come up for the draft, you know, representing Alabama or Ohio State or Clemson or whoever. These guys, when they go up there, they're always dressed up real well, and they always speak real well, and it presents a really good image to your program, whoever it is. Alabama.
It's recruiting.
It's recruiting. Okay, well, where's the Florida State guys? That's right, they don't have any. So what I'm saying is it's not – you've got all this free publicity for all these programs, OSU, Alabama, Texas A&M, Miami – and where's Florida State? Well, they're back home.
And you know how dirty recruiting is. There, you got Miami, Georgia, Alabama recruiting the same kid Florida State is, like we do now. What do they tell them? Why would you go to FSU? They can't win. Nobody wants to go there. You can't get in the NFL. You come here. Look at our players going to the NFL.
Also,
FSU players
that's sad, but it's true.
What did Florida State go in the ACC last year? 5-7.
Yeah, something like that.
What do you think they would have done in the SEC or Big Ten, playing like Alabama, Georgia, Florida? I mean, or Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Oregon, Indiana. Like, I mean, and what draw do they move the needle as far as viewership in either conference when those have so many blue bloods, when they got established people? And is Ohio State, Michigan, or Alabama, Georgia going to give them a full share of the conference payout? Absolutely not. So it's a very tenuous time for Florida State. They got to make some changes, and unfortunately, I don't know if they have the money to do it.
Now, Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida, they're all happy as they can be what's going on in Tallahassee right now.
And I can tell you, Ohio State,
they know
Michigan,
what that could be.
I know Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, all those teams that are making $60, $80 million next TV contract. Why would we bring in another team that doesn't move the needle? That probably isn't going to be very competitive maybe for 5-10 years. Yeah. Why are we going to bring them in and share our revenue with them, build their program up for them when we don't have to?
Right, I agree.
All right, let's look at Clemson. National brand, TV fans. You already got South Carolina if you're looking at it from the SEC. Big Ten, would you guys want Clemson now?
I don't think it's a good fit academically. I know people think, it's football.
What's another state, though, TV network money?
How big of a state is that? Is that a huge market? The reason we brought in Rutgers and have to suffer with them.
That offends me as a southern state.
Well, I mean, we're just being honest. New York, New Jersey has, 10 million people or something? So, they didn't bring in Rutgers because there's some powerhouse in football.
Rutgers is right across the river from New York. New York City.
So could you see these two? Could you see schools like FSU and Clemson be left out of the Big Ten and the SEC?
I can't, but if we're just looking strictly at numbers and not the history of college football, the blue blood, how established they've been.
All right, let's go one more before we get a break. Let's go North Carolina. TV fan base is good. Strong recruiting state. They got good players. That state's growing. And for the SEC, we'd be another state for us. It's a big state. They got good players there. I could see that being attractive to the SEC. Is it attracted to the Big Ten, Big Ten boys?
I would say no. They're more of an SEC fit to me.
I would say yes, because their academic standards, the other
basketball,
sports outside of football, they bring something for baseball, they bring something for basketball, and I think that's attractive to the Big Ten.
That school is more attractive, I think, than the other ones we've been talking about.
I think so.
Yeah, I think Duke is a better fit for the Big Ten, and I think North Carolina is a better fit for the SEC. But my thing is I don't see North Carolina, Duke, North Carolina State splitting each other apart, because that's such a three-way rivalry that North Carolina State, North Carolina,
greed and money make you do a lot of things you don't want to do.
So I don't see it getting split up just because I would see those three wanting to go.
I'd say you're probably right, but I would see North Carolina going, wait a minute, I can make this much money in the Big Ten, this much money in the SEC. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Hell of y'all.
But I do think these TV execs are going to make package deals. I mean, it happens all the time. UCLA, USC. Does Big Ten really want UCLA where they were at? In this current climate, no. But I don't think anybody wants to break up Duke, North Carolina, and if they could bring them in just for basketball purposes, I think they would do it.
All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. Appreciate all of our great sponsors. Beef O'Brady's Lynnhaven. Pat Perno, City Commissioner over there, does an incredible job. Get out to Beef O'Brady's, have a great meal. Tell them Coach sent you. Go see Russ, Amber, and Patrick. Get yourself some fine jewelry. You want to make some money? Take your jewelry in there, sell it. You got some stuff you don't want anymore? Gold or silver? They're bringing in big bucks right now. David Adams, go check it out. You'll be glad you did. And the legendary Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly. Listen to him tomorrow at 7:30, every Wednesday, 7:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. And I'm going to tell you again, it's Bike Week. Drive careful, be patient. We got a lot of bikers down here. They bring big-time money into Bay County, and they're really good people, outstanding people. And they're all going to be down at the mothership, and so should you. Charlotte and John, they got the tent set up. They got great, all kind of merchandise, all kind of drink specials, entertainment. Everything's going down there. Every single day there's something special going down at Newbies. Get out to Newbies, have a great time. If you don't, hey, just get in there and watch what's going on. That's pretty interesting in itself. Get out to Newbies, have a great time. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, Alabama Crimson Tide.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
They don't care about the fans. We're all beating our chests, going to the tailgaters, drinking the Kool-Aid, eating the hot dog, buying the merch, and Alabama. They don't want to lose that because they're the top 4 in like sales for college memorabilia. Yeah. If they lose that, they lose the NIL, period.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 78 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south. Some clouds tonight, a light breeze and hot near 70. Partly sunny and 78 tomorrow. 79 and mostly clouds in the early morning, followed by a possibility of thunderstorms with a gentle breeze Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
WGSX Lynnhaven, WVOQ Port St. John. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Stand up.
Hand over your heart.
Yes. Greatest fight song in all of college football. Everybody in the nation knows what this is.
Unfortunately, we do.
Hey, yay, Alabama, Crimson Tide. Roll Tide, roll. Alabama update is brought. You talking about local? Jason Steverson graduated from Mosley High School. He starts a family-owned business. They knocked it out of the ballpark. They're expanding left and right. I see a truck everywhere. It's simple. You do a great service. You're honest. You don't try to steal money from people. You don't try to take every little penny out of their pockets. You're an honest, hardworking guy. reliable, dependable, and that's what they are. They're the best at what they do. That's the reason Jason Kovaleski, his business, his home, Chad Mitchell, Dr. Chad Mitchell. I talked to Chad yesterday. We've got to get him back on here.
Yeah.
And also myself. We've had so many people go on with Stevenson Air Conditioning and said it's the best thing they've done. But I will say this again, the best commercial I ever heard, the best thing I ever heard about Stevenson Air Conditioning, we're walking into J. Michael's restaurant. The guy's walking out, and he says, hey, listen to your show. He said, I did what you said. I went with Stevenson Air Conditioning, best thing I ever done. He said, actually had bought a unit from another company, and they were going to make him wait almost a week to come out in service and do what he needed done. Stevenson called them. They came out the next day. He said it was incredible. So they got somebody for life right there.
They did that for me, and I'm just not very smart about how to fix certain things. And they came out. It was like a 5-minute little thing that they had to do, and he didn't even charge me for coming out. And they came out the next day. So and that's why you go with local,
yeah,
because
kind of people they are.
Yeah, because they want to, they live in the community. They know people, in the community, and they're going to try to help you out.
They're awesome people. Go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. Go local. You'll be glad you did. All right, Alabama baseball. I didn't get this in the other day. I want to get it in today, and we'll jump into some other things if we have time. Alabama, Tennessee, big rival game, baseball, softball. Didn't turn out the way we wanted it to in some of those things. But Alabama baseball, 10-11 in the SEC. That's not good. We started out pretty good, and it's kind of gone down a little bit. 10-11 SEC, 29-16 overall, 18-5 at home, 8-10 on the road, 3-1 neutral sites. Alabama's standing is really actually 12th in the SEC. We're ranked 13th. They obviously have dropped down the rankings. I think I got the different polls. If I have time, I'll go over them. But anyway, this is what happened last Thursday. Alabama 12, Tennessee 8. And then on Friday, Tennessee 10, Alabama 0. And I think the double hitter was at Tennessee 11, Alabama 4. So Tennessee wins that one. Alabama's next series is against Vandy. The game will start Thursday. Alabama versus Vandy at 6 o'clock on ESPNU. On Friday, May 1st, Alabama Vandy, 6 o'clock on SEC Network, I think. And then on Saturday, May 2nd, Alabama Vandy, 1 o'clock, first pitch. Softball. Softball is outstanding. Again, Tennessee. Tennessee did well. I hate that. Mike. Anyway, Alabama's second in the SEC overall, 16-4 in the SEC play, 44-5 overall, 25-2 at home, 14-3 on the road, and neutral site games, Alabama softball 5-0. Saturday, April 25th, number 2 Alabama 12, number 9 Tennessee zip. Then it went south from there. Sunday, April 25th, number 2 Alabama 0, number 9 Tennessee 2. And then yesterday, Tennessee 4, Alabama 1. So Tennessee gets that series. Didn't like that. Thursday, 6 o'clock, Alabama number 2 will play number 24, and these rankings have changed since then. They'll play South Carolina. Friday, 6 o'clock, Alabama, South Carolina, and then the final one will be Saturday, May 2nd, 1 o'clock first pitch, Alabama, South Carolina. So hopefully Alabama get back on the winning streak, maybe hopefully win all 3 of those ball games, get back up for higher rankings. Now, let's jump into Alabama football. Let me ask you 2 experts a question.
Let's do this.
Because I still can't get it out. I just don't understand our athletic director. I truly don't. And this is not a cut due to the board. And I've said this now 3 or 4 days in a row, and I'm going to say it again because you 2 guys are in here. If Ryan Day had lost to Florida State in a regular season game, first game of the year, look unprepared, out of shape, no hustling, and got beat bad by FSU. Then if Ryan Day would have lost the homecoming game at Ohio State. Then if Ryan Day would have lost the Big Ten championship game, got embarrassed by, say, Indiana, or whatever, like Alabama did against Georgia. Then if Ohio State would have lost in their last game in the playoffs, 38-3, would Ryan Day get a 7-year, $87 million raise, an extension?
You wouldn't think so.
Remember the year they lost to Michigan, won the national championship? They were going to fire him after the Michigan game.
Dead man walking.
They would have, and he won the national championship that year. So there's absolutely no way he would have been extended. The only thing I don't understand about this, it's okay to extend your coach, but the buyout was absolutely insane. Like 90% of your contract with no offset. If you don't know what
after 2 years,
and losing 4 games in both those years, missing the playoffs the first year. That's the reward you get. So an offset is if I get another job, then Alabama doesn't have to pay the difference in what he's getting paid from another school. They took that language completely out of the contract. They're giving him 90% if he gets fired without cause, which means he didn't do anything crazy like the Michigan coach did with the mistress. Then they have to pay him 90% of his contract, no matter what. Even if he gets another job, if he's working for Florida State, whatever. And
speaking of Florida State, I believe we are following and doing the exact same thing Florida State's done.
First thing I thought of, this could be a really bad situation if it goes bad. Say they lose 5 games this year, they can't run the football again. They start losing recruits. They just landed the #1 recruit in the country, and I thought that's one of the reasons they announced that at that time was because they're getting some recruiting momentum.
Well, he signed 3 of the top-rated quarterbacks in the country last 3 years. And the one we got there now, Russell kid's a real deal.
But let me ask you this. Why wasn't it okay to see how this season went and then have that on the table and be like, hey.
The thing I heard is that when it was a real deal that Michigan was snooping around, and he panicked just like FSU did with Norvell when Alabama went over there looking. Would Alabama signed him? I don't know, but their AD signed him that big-time contract, and look what's happened to FSU ever since.
Here's the other thing, too, about Alabama. I'm going to relate it back to the draft. And I'm watching and kind of keep track of everything, and I'm thinking to myself, man, Alabama's has got a lot of players.
10.
10. Okay, Ohio State
had 11.
Ohio State had 11, then you got Texas A&M and Alabama next with 10. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a lot of players. They had the 13th overall pick, the quarterback. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to connect the dots as an Alabama. Like, so this has got to be some kind of coaching issue here. You guy that got picked in the first round, pick number 13, but he didn't play at all ahead of Milroe for 2 seasons. So what was Milroe doing that was so much better than a guy who was the 13th pick in the first round in the NFL draft? And I'm thinking to myself, this is not a good look. This is just me. Mm-hmm. For DeBoer, I mean, you got a guy who was pick number 13 but couldn't beat a guy who didn't play a single down.
I think Caden Proctor was more of an indictment on the program than even Simpson, because Simpson was hurt. We could explain that because early in the year he was really good. Caden Proctor was just flat out of shape at times at Alabama, and they
rewarded him by getting in shape. We'll throw you a pass.
We'll throw you the ball. Like what?
Yeah. But his weight fluctuated. He'd go from 340 to 380 to 360 to 375, and that's a discipline issue. And to me, that's where coaches kind of earn their money, being strict, being in a regiment, making sure that guys are in shape. And tremendous talent, physical tools off the chart. Should have been the #1 offensive tackle taken if everything was in order. But that's the way the offensive lines looked, and Alabama's known for running the football, being physical.
And being physical on defense.
And Ryan Grubb, let's be honest, got fired from Seattle because they couldn't run the football.
And what happened to Seattle after he left?
They can run the football and won the Super Bowl. So
this, to me, this goes back to our athletic director and Sexton, the agent. And I'll say this again. I like DeBoer.
Yeah.
I think he's a great man. I think he's a really good coach. But does he fit at Alabama? I'm not sure yet. And I don't know what the problem. If he wanted to leave and go to Michigan, go. But they panicked about Michigan. And I'm going to tell you what. Doesn't happen to you, happens for you. Michigan, you came out smelling like a rose because that offense in Ann Arbor that he tries to run would not fit there.
No.
Not in that weather, I don't think.
They're going to run the football and be physical. And if you can't, you're not going to win in the Big Ten anyway because of the weather, like you're saying. Right. But I've never met an Alabama or haven't met an Alabama fan recently, at least, and you have some Rabbit fans, just like Ohio State, that would have been upset if he would have taken that job. I think a lot of fans are like, yeah, he's good, but I think we could find somebody just as good and not pay as much money. Yeah. And I think a lot of people.
Who's out there?
Or
at least
wait.
Indiana found somebody.
Yeah. Or at least wait till the end of this season, see how this season goes with the changes they made, and see if anything's changed, and then give him that contract.
Let's go back to Ty Simpson and how I like what he said when Miami wanted to. I think there was talk $4 to $6 million. that they were going to give Ty Simpson to go to Miami. He said no, he's not going to do it. Well, he made a pretty good choice. Total value $25,425,508. Annual salary about $6.3 million a year. First year he'll make $4,620 and $456, something like that. Signing bonus, pretty good signing bonus, $14,941,827. I think he made the right choice. What did you guys think?
Absolutely made the right choice, because if he came back, got hurt, or didn't have the season he had, he could have dropped.
We got to take this phone call.
That guaranteed money is absolutely
this is a local legend. We just got called. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Coach. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Bill?
Doing great. Hey, I got a quick question and a comment.
Okay.
And I'll let you guys discuss it. Who is DeBoer's agent?
Jimmy Sexton.
Jimmy Sexton is playing chess, and all of these athletic directors are playing checkers.
You're right.
That guy has out-negotiated everybody, every athletic director that he's been involved with. I mean, just look back at the history of these guys. I know good and well he's setting these situations up. Hey, Michigan's looking at my guy here. It's absurd. But anyway, that's my comment. Y'all have a great day, fellas.
Thank you. Right. He's exactly right. What
I think he's right.
And the thing is, he represents most of the big-time coaches, so he's pulling the strings on all of them.
He knows what to say.
The Norvell situation, Alabama. He represented all those coaches, so he knew how to manipulate the situation. That's his job, so we can't fault him for it. But the AD's got to be a little bit.
And he's making himself very well.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's just face it. Jimmy Sexton is just doing Alabama a big favor, because I mean, who really wants to coach at Alabama? I mean, what kind of history do they have? I mean, how many national titles in the last 3 years? Exactly.
They'll just make one up, though, so probably one.
Hey.
2.
We were leading Michigan at halftime. That's something. We got to get something off that.
You only lost Indiana by 35, so you can claim that one.
Unbelievable.
They got on the scoreboard.
Unbelievable. I just think, just me, if I'm the AD there, I'd have said, look, Jimmy, if he wants to go to Michigan, he can go to Michigan.
Or we're going to let it play out the year. Here's the contract at the end of the year.
Do you think Alabama's going to be upset if our athletic director said, look, we were going to hit up for another extension, big-time money, and we just didn't see it right now. We didn't think that was relevant. We didn't think he deserved that right this time. I don't think any Alabama fan would have been that upset if DeBoer left to go to Michigan.
I don't think so either. And I don't think that would have been a really good situation for Michigan either, the way they play football.
Absolutely not. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We talked about Stevenson Air Conditioning. Get it serviced right before summer, right before winter. It's going to last longer and save you money on your power bill. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Go local. Go with the best. That's Stevenson Air Conditioning. No doubt about it. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. The best seafood, ice cold beer. Get out there and have a great, great time. All you bikers out there listening right now, get down to Newbies. They got everything set up for you. Great entertainment, tent set up, merchandise like you would not believe. 4 great locations, but the mothership. Get out to the mothership on Thomas Drive. Have a great time. Everything's set up for all you bikers. You're going to have a wonderful time down there. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. What's going on with Auburn? What's going on with the Auburn Tigers?
Lock it in and rip the knob off. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has turned up the power.
I'm getting an RJ spot, Captain.
From Port St. Joe to Panama City to Fort Walton Beach, the biggest sports signal in the Panhandle.
If I push it any harder, the whole thing will blow.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 78 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south. Some clouds tonight, a light breeze and hot near 70. Partly sunny and 78 tomorrow. 79 and mostly clouds in the early morning, followed by a possibility of thunderstorms with a gentle breeze Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
You've been low-key thinking about dropping a podcast. Well, now is the time to start, brah. Sports, politics, finance, science, health, real estate, music, interviews, surfing, conspiracy theories, or alien abductions. Ready to main character your own content? We can make it happen with Turnkey Podcast Productions from 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Our local, modern, state-of-the-art multimedia recording studio is now available for booking, starting at just $100 an episode. Take your fandom to the next level. For more information, text the keyword studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio 215-6290 or jam over to ESPNPC.com. Bruh.
He's a beacon of light to many and an inspiration to all.
Winning.
The Coach James Hale Show, live from the J. Michaels Studios on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna, Seegers family, all of them, baby. War Eagle, man. Auburn Updates brought to you by the one and only Beefo Braves in Lynn Haven. Yeah, Lynn Haven have a wonderful time. Pat Perno, City Commissioner over there, his restaurant is second to none. Key word here is Beefo Braves, Lynn Haven, Lynn Haven. James, let's give away something, man. Hey, give us a call, 215-6290. You're going to love this. You will absolutely love this, but you got to call us quickly. I'll take the first two calls, whatever. What are we going to give away?
All right, caller number 2. What do we got? We have a $25 Golf Plus gift card. We got $25 to That Boot Store, a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, whatever guys you like, whatever you like, and 30 days to Anytime Fitness.
And that's not one thing.
6290, taking caller number 2.
That's a couple things, right? If I heard you right, we're giving away the house, man. Give us a call, 215-6290. Enjoy these things. The only thing now, you got to take me if it's a free meal.
Except for to the gym.
That phone is blowing up. Call right now, 215-6290. You are a winner. You will love it. Auburn update. Let's get into Auburn. Auburn softball not having the year that they want to have. 14th in the SEC. Auburn baseball, softball. They're 4-17 in the SEC play. Overall record 25-24. Home they're 15-11. On the road they're 2-10. Neutral sites they're 8-3. Friday, April 24th, Ole Miss 6, Auburn 2. Saturday, Ole Miss does it again, 13-11 over Auburn. And then on Sunday, the final one, Auburn didn't let them sweep them, but they lost the series. Ole Miss 3, the Auburn Tigers 13. They will play number 16th ranked LSU. They were ranked 16th LSU. The first pitch will be Thursday, 6 o'clock, LSU Auburn. Friday, May 1st, first pitch 6 o'clock, Auburn LSU. And then on Saturday, May 2nd, 4 o'clock pitch, LSU Auburn. We got a caller. We got a winner. Who do we have on the line? Good morning.
This is Brent. How's it going?
Hey, buddy. You live in town on the beach? Where you live?
We live on the beach.
Good man. Yes, sir. What's your favorite college football team?
Of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, my God. Oh, please, no.
Double his winnings.
Yep.
So, how did you grow up in Ohio?
Because he's smart. What do you mean how that happened?
Yeah, we grew up in Ohio.
Nice.
The wife graduated from Ohio State.
Oh, cool. All right.
So we moved down here a couple years ago.
What brought you down to the great city of Panama City Beach? This radio show? Was it this radio show that you listened to?
It was. I do love it, actually.
Good,
but,
good.
Work.
Well, good,
so I work at the hospital and a couple long-term care facilities in the area.
Well, God bless you, man. I love that, man. Did James tell you what you need to do to come out and get your prizes?
I'll talk to him
after.
Okay.
No, he didn't. Sorry.
So don't hang up. He's going to tell you. Well, we got the Buckeye boys in here. What do you think, man? Let me ask you this. We were talking about Day. He'd have been fired if he'd have done what Alabama did, and Alabama give their coach $87 million for losing 4 games. What's your take on that? Do you think Alabama did the right thing? hire him what he could be, or this?
I think any long-term deal these days is, a big risk for these universities with the payouts and things like that. So, but, who are these backup coaches that are going to take these, the coaches that have been, in this game for a while? There's not many of them, so I think everybody's trying to lock, things up.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you're right.
There's not a lot of Signettis out there. I know everybody thinks they're going to strike gold and get him, but that's a unicorn there, and I don't know if it's sustainable. We're going to find out, but, I think you hit the nail on the head with that.
How old is he?
So it's crazy. So I was born in Indianapolis, so my grandparents and mother were big IU fans, and but we moved to Ohio pretty early, so.
Yeah, I wish Bobby Knight was alive to see what was going on in their football program. That's crazy.
Yeah, she got to live those Hoosier days and and getting bricks thrown at the buses and things like that. So.
Well, you and your beautiful wife have a great day, and tell her go Buckeyes. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you, and I hope you have a great time. Come by and get your stuff. Don't hang up. James going to tell you what to do. Okay.
All righty.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for listening. Good job.
Signetti, 64.
64, and he just signed. I think he's making $13-point-something million a year. Second pay. I think he's the second highest paid coach.
The boy right there with him now for that 8-4 season.
Whatever. I hope year 3 maybe he wins it all, and we'll be saying, you know what? I'm so glad he's won.
Hey, they got a lot of talent. I think they got the quarterback spot correct. I'm just looking at the offensive line. They got a new offensive line coach, so I know we're making a little bit of fun because I know Coach Hale didn't want to see this happen, and rightfully so because he hadn't really earned it yet. But this is going to be a really talented team they got this year, so they got a real chance to do something.
All right, Auburn baseball, 7th in the SEC. If you look at the SEC standings, Auburn is 12-9 SEC play. I believe their overall record is 30-13. They are 20-8 at home, and I believe it's 3-5 on the road. 5-0 neutral site. Auburn on last Friday, Auburn 6, and number 16 Oklahoma 4. Then they said, I guess the game got canceled with the tornadoes or whatever because I had 0-0 score on that. And then on Sunday, Auburn 14, Oklahoma 4. That game might have been played at Auburn. I don't know. I just said that's the way it ended. The game ended that way. Their next series, Auburn played Texas A&M, which is an outstanding baseball team. So they'll get that thing cranked up Friday, 7 o'clock first pitch. Saturday, the first pitch will be at 2, and then Sunday the first pitch will be at 1 o'clock. They broke down the elite teams in the SEC. It's baseball. We're supposed to be unbeatable in baseball. The elite contenders for the SEC. These are the elite teams. These are the big daddies right here. Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Now we got all these teams ranked, but they say these are the 4 you better watch out for. Pretenders. It's Auburn. Auburn's a pretender. Ole Miss is a pretender. Florida Gators, you're a pretender. Arkansas, Oklahoma. No, you don't have what it takes to be up there with the big 4.
LSU.
So we shall see. No, hot garbage. These are the garbage teams of the SEC.
Oops.
LSU, Vandy, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, South Carolina.
How could you go from national champs to hot garbage in 1 year?
That's crazy.
You live in the SEC.
No,
now,
NIL.
Burn the program down. Just burn it up. Missouri.
I agree.
Missouri. That's what they got to say. Now, here are the standings in SEC as of now. Auburn, number 1 is Georgia, 13-5 in SEC play, 34-11 overall. Number 2, your elite contenders, Texas A&M is 12-5, 33-8. Number 3, Texas, 11-6. So they're all bunched up there together. 11-6, 32-9 overall. Number 4, Mississippi State, 10-8. 34-10. They're right there tied with Auburn. Auburn's 10-8 in SEC, 30-12. So I don't think Auburn is a pretender. I think Auburn's got a shot. Ole Miss, they're 10-8 also, 31-14. Oklahoma, same thing, 10-8. Florida, the same thing, 10-8. They've won 29 games. Florida has. They've lost 16. So I don't think you can say these are pretenders right now. I think this article was negative, ugly, and misinformed.
And premature.
Thank you. That's what they said about my hands. Then you got Bama. Maybe they are.
Pretender.
9-9 SEC. Arkansas, 9-9 SEC. Vandy, 9-9 in the SEC. Tennessee, 10-8. Man, this is all close. I think it's too early to call this. Kentucky, 10-8. Then you got LSU. Now, LSU, like you talked about, this is surprising to me. They're 6-12 SEC play. 24-21 overall.
What's their overall record?
24-21.
Most people had them coming back and competing for the national championship.
Their odds are good. You see that? Their odds are getting there.
They brought a lot of guys back from that national championship team last year.
Vegas knows something, I guess. I don't know. South Carolina, 5-13 SEC.
Burn it down.
22-23 overall. Missouri, this is embarrassing. Missouri, 3-15 SEC play. 21 wins, 23 losses. Go ahead and burn that program down. You can do that. D1 baseball, Auburn's ranked number 8. American baseball poll, the Auburn Tigers are ranked number 6. Auburn football, did you say Feinbaum was bad-mouthing Golders?
Yeah, he was.
I don't get that, man.
I don't either.
It's his job.
Yeah,
I guess.
He's a Crimson Tide guy and Tennessee Volunteer.
He's really a Tennessee. He graduated. Come on, he made his money in Alabama.
But he was a saving guy.
He knows where the bank
money
accounts go.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think Golesh is a heck of a coach, and I'm gonna be shocked if Auburn's not really good. Of course, I've been shocked the last 5 years about Auburn too.
But after the quarterback struggles they had the last 6 years, how can you criticize the quarterback spot when the guy's been proven?
And they're talking about a spring game.
I know.
Cam Newton's look at his stats were worse than his in the game.
Right.
Come on, man. I think Auburn's going to be fine. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Get out there and have a great, great time. James, thank you so much for giving away that stuff. And who was our winner?
Kent. Sorry, not Kent. Brent was our winner today.
Brent, thank you, Brent, for listening. Thank you for winning. And we'll give some other stuff away. We're going to do it again anytime soon?
We're going to do it again tomorrow.
Do it tomorrow. All right. David Adams. I love Russ. Amber, Patrick, they're great. And that's one thing about Love All Our Sponsors. They're good people, really good-hearted, good, wonderful people. And that's the reason they're in business. They do so well. People like them. They care about their customers. David Adams, man, if you want to sell jewelry to them, go take it down there. They'll give you a good deal. Gold and silver, it's going through the roof right now. Now, you want something you want to buy, get down there. They don't try to take every penny out of your pocket. They'll deal with you. And you can actually go down there and write down on the ball your name and what you want, then send your husband down there, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, all the above, and you'll get what you want. They're the best. David Adams Designer Jewelry, number 1, not even close. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
While other radio stations are playing national contests with winners in Timbuktu, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has real local winners.
Hi, this is Dave Meat from Panama City Beach.
Bona fide and certified local.
Man, that's fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
Keep listening to Win on the Gulf Coast.
Hell yeah, let's do it. I just won $250 from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and created cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Hewitt Tire and Auto has been in business in Panama City forever. Locals taking care of locals. From the smallest to the largest vehicles, they do it all. But don't take my word for it. Listen to the experts.
Hewitt Tire and Auto, your certified AAA service center and hometown towing. Visit them online at HewittTire.com on Airport Road in Panama City.
850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels studio.
They got something that money couldn't buy. I was noticing when you come down the stairs that you've got pretty legs.
All right, I'll tell you a story without a happy ending.
Y'all following this?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Come back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I want to go back. I want to go back what we were talking about earlier. FSU to SEC Big Ten. I think the Big Ten, not the SEC. Clemson, SEC Big Ten. We already got South Carolina. We talked about that. I don't know where they go. They are a national brand. Maybe, I don't know. North Carolina, yes, I think the SEC should go get them. It's a new state for us. It's a great state for high school athletes. Big state. A lot of people moving there. Big TV market, yes. Virginia Tech was the next one. James Franklin's there now. A new state for both conferences. Not a big name compared to these others. Will the SEC go after them or the Big Ten?
I think North Carolina, Virginia are two of the hottest names. I think both conferences would go after them. Virginia Tech, to me, is on the fence a little bit there. I don't know if they bring eyeballs, and I don't know if they have the success in all the sports. Academically, they fit the Big Ten, but just not as attractive to me, and I don't really see that as like a wow move.
I never really thought about Virginia Tech. I always thought they'd go after Virginia.
Right.
First.
They're the next one.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
So you're thinking SEC, Big Ten, both go after Virginia. Now let me ask you this: let's say the SEC does not get Virginia, Big Ten does. Does the SEC go? We still need to get in that state. Let's get Virginia Tech.
Possibly. I mean, I don't see the eyeballs that they bring.
I think no.
If you've ever been to Virginia Tech, guys, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You go find a map of West Virginia. Looks kind of like a hand. There's Virginia Tech right down there, like almost in West Virginia. There's like no population there. I mean, the only thing that's there is that college.
I'm like both of you guys. I think the school they all want would be Virginia.
Yeah,
if
that's what I would
think. If they don't
think.
get Virginia, I don't see them going after Virginia Tech. That's just me. We could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
What people have to understand, they're going after teams that can bring in money, and money means eyeballs. How much viewership do they bring each weekend to football? And if they don't bring anything, then they're just not going to be attractive to these executives and conferences.
Here are the last three schools that this is about SEC. This has nothing to do with the Big Ten. We added Big Ten to get these two guys' opinion on this situation we're dealing with here. NC State, if we didn't get North Carolina, would we go after Duke? Do we have to have that state? This is a state I think we want to get in. Would we go in NC State if we don't get North Carolina? You Big Ten people, you don't get North Carolina. Would you guys go after NC State?
I don't see that. I don't think it's attractive. I mean, to me, Notre Dame, Miami are the prizes, and those would be the first step, and then we can start talking about some of these other programs. North Carolina is super attractive to both conferences.
What about Duke?
I think Duke would be kind of a package deal with North Carolina. You know, I don't think they want to separate them. It's hugely important for basketball, and we're not just talking about football when we're talking about conference realignment, but you add Duke, North Carolina to any basketball, conference, you're automatically in the top tier.
And if you know anything about the geography of where those schools are,
they're like 13 miles.
Duke, Wake Forest, North Carolina State are all within like in your fist. I mean, they're all within 20 miles probably as the crow flies. Very close.
Their name has been brought up several times. I just don't see it. I don't think NC State gets into either one.
I don't see the attraction. I don't see the eyeballs. You know, the only reason UCLA was brought in with the Big Ten is because USC. They wanted USC, and they were not coming without UCLA. They weren't going to break them up. UCLA is really not attractive in any sport right now. They don't bring eyeballs as much as they used to. So if you're looking at Duke, I think the only reason Duke is attractive is because if North Carolina goes in, they're not going to break those two teams up, and basketball.
And you said they're not going to break them up.
I don't think they'll break them up. I don't think they themselves want to be broken up because they just really play on each other so hard. Now, you might be able to take Wake Forest to make them go somewhere, but who wants Wake?
Yeah. See, I disagree with all three of you. I think when we're talking the amount of money the SEC, Big Ten, why would you stay in the ACC when you can make that type of money going to Big Ten? I do think North Carolina will leave and go into the SEC or the Big Ten.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if they offer them the money
regardless of what Duke and NC State does.
Probably, but I think the conferences would find that attractive to bring Duke along with them for that rivalry. Yeah. I think it'd bring them eyeballs, especially in basketball.
Makes sense. All right, the next one, Louisville. We already got the state of Kentucky. I just don't see Louisville getting into the SEC. Would the Big Ten go after Louisville?
No, they don't have the academic standards.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
So I think Louisville's out. I think they're stuck in the ACC. Oklahoma State. No.
I've seen some SEC fans saying expand into there, but you already have Oklahoma.
Well, we got the crown jewel. We got Oklahoma.
They were probably the worst Power 4 football team last year of all. I mean, and I don't see them with the money now that Boone, Pickens is gone. I don't see them being able to compete at that level.
To me, out of all the ones we're talking about, I think the big one for the Big Ten would be Miami, South Florida recruiting, the state of Florida. Not so much for the SEC because I don't think Florida wants them in there. Nobody goes to their games. That would probably change over you play SEC schedule, maybe. I think Miami will wind up in the Big Ten. That's just me, just a guess, just an opinion. Don't know anything. North Carolina, I think the SEC is going to go hard after them. I think that's who we want the most. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. And I think we're going to wind up getting North Carolina. I think we get them. I think you guys get Miami. Clemson and Florida State, the two blue bloods. What happens to those two schools? I don't know. I don't know.
That was tough. 4 years ago, I'd say Florida State's a slam dunk. They could have chose the SEC or Big Ten. Today, I just really don't know. I mean, what's attractive about them? Do they have the money? That one's tough right there. I think they're going to eventually get in just because it's Florida State and the name recognition. But the longer this goes on at 5-7, 4-8, 6-6, what's the attraction there? Basketball's not some super, elite, for Florida State. Baseball's good, but that doesn't move the needle when you talk about viewership. And this is all about eyeballs and money, and they're declining, and not, one of the teams that the trajectory's not up for Florida State right now.
I don't know what this is all about. Well, maybe I do. Sistrunk, I think, what's his name? Striscombe or something. He was an All-American tackle or guard or something for Georgia. Well, Scott Howard had been announcing Georgia football, voice of Georgia football for 18 years. He is not going to be doing that going forward. The former All-American offensive lineman is going to take over that. Now, he will keep his position with basketball. You don't see this every day. Eli Gold, what we saw there happening, he up in age. They said, Chris had been doing it for a while, did a great job. Chris had been with him, and Chris is a lot younger. And with his health issues, they wouldn't split that. And now you see this going on at Georgia. Howard will be doing basketball, and the former Georgia players all excited about it. You just don't see this happening every day. The voice of a program. That's kind of interesting there, I thought.
Go get Doug Durham.
Yeah, there you go. And another thing I did want to bring up one more time. I can't remember if I did it, but I'm going to do it again. 15-year anniversary, April 27th, and this is what crazy, in an 18-hour period, 62 tornadoes in the state of Alabama, 252 people killed, the deadliest day in Alabama history as far as weather. And then you see what's going on. Have y'all been keeping up in Oklahoma, the Midwest, all these, that they show the picture of these things, the same dates, but just a different part of the country. those things are unbelievably huge. I mean, you're talking about those. What do they rate them? 4, 5s, whatever.
5, yeah.
I mean,
they scare me way more than hurricanes. Well, at least a hurricane, 3 days ahead of time, I need to get the heck out of the way. But a tornado, especially at night, you're pretty much a sitting duck if you're in the path. And some of these are like 3 or 4 miles wide. They're 200-mile-per-hour winds. They just, to me, those are more scary than a hurricane. And the devastation, like you saw in Alabama, that was just sad to see, and the amount of loss of life. We had one in Ohio back in the 60s, I believe.
74 breakout.
Yeah, that was very close to my grandparents. I was about 12 miles from there, and it was devastating.
I remember, I think it was 1974, the breakout. Alabama, Ohio, everywhere. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had one that bad since.
I don't think so.
15 years ago was pretty bad. All right, my question, James, you jump on this one too. What's the best rivalry? And we'll say, what's the best team out of these rivalries? You got Texas A&M, hate each other. You got Ohio State, Michigan, hate each other.
Really hate.
Let's look at Ohio. And I didn't go back when nobody was playing ball. I'm talking kind of modern football. National championships, not way back in the day. Who's got the most? Ohio State's got 7, Michigan 3. Big Ten championships, Ohio State 20, Michigan 13. Top 10 final rankings, Ohio State 48, Michigan 45. That's pretty good. Heisman Trophy winners, I didn't know this. Ohio State 7, Michigan only 3. I thought it was the other way around. All-Americans, first-team All-Americans, Ohio State 97, Michigan 89. Ohio State leads 62, 52, and 6. Now, let's look at the other rivalry. National championships, Oklahoma 7. Not Texas A&M, Texas, Oklahoma. Texas 4 national championships. Conference championships, Oklahoma 38. Texas just 21. I didn't know that. All-Americans, Oklahoma 83, Texas 63. Total top 10 finishes, Oklahoma 45, Texas only 30. Heisman Trophy winners, Oklahoma 7, Heisman's for Texas 2. Oklahoma leads 63, 51, and 2. All right, which out of the 2 questions out of the rivalries, which one's a better rivalry? Oklahoma, Texas, Ohio State, Michigan.
Ohio State, Michigan's the best rivalry in sports. I mean, they hate each other. It's
James,
not even close. It's toxic.
Listen to this Yankee.
I mean,
Wake and Duke.
What's a better rivalry?
It's got to be Ohio State, Michigan.
What's the better rivalry?
Even
Ohio
outside
State,
of
Michigan.
football, it is just hate.
Okay.
Yeah. The people hate each other. It don't even have to be. It could be checkers.
And I know why they did it. It was not interstate. It was state versus state.
And I would put Alabama, Auburn above Texas.
No. This is state versus.
Okay.
Yeah. This is why they did it this way.
Okay.
Let me ask you this: out of these 4 teams, what's the best program? Texas, I'd put number 4 after seeing these statistics. I'd put Oklahoma number 2. I'd put Ohio State number 1 and Michigan number 3. How would you rank them?
About like that.
National championship, Ohio State 7, Michigan 3. Oklahoma 7, Texas 4. Conference champion, I don't know, maybe Texas.
People forget that run Oklahoma had, the 60s, 70s with Bud Wilkerson. I mean, they were dominant. Barry Switzer. I mean, they ran college football. Bob Stoops. I mean, when you look at over 5, 6, 7 decades and the sustained success of these programs.
Switzer? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, to me, Oklahoma's up there, close to Ohio State.
Isn't this weird? When you think of Ohio State, I only think of one guy, Woody Hayes.
Right.
And it seemed like he was there forever. And you got to put Urban in there now. And if Ryan Day keeps winning, but speaking of, we got
to put Jim Tressel in there as well because he changed the tide because they went on that run after Michigan had dominated that series, and he really flipped the script on that.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. I'm up against the break right now. Steve's Bike Shop, Steve Burdershot, swim coach at Mosley's, incredible. Steve's Bike Shops, they've been in business since 1979. The best of the best right there. Electrical bikes are taking over the world. Go get one there. I saw the prices up in Birmingham, Mountain Brook, Vestavia Hills, and then right here in Lynn Haven. It's incredible how much cheaper they are here. Exact same bike. Electrical bikes. Get yourself one. New and used. You got a big, large selection. Same thing with your standard bikes. New or used. You got ones tore up, broke up, need new tires. Steve's Bike Shop's where you want to go. Where are they located? 23rd Street, Go check it out. Right across the street from Sam. Stevenson Air Conditioner #1. Kyle Vandergriff, listen to him Thursday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Turf Pro Pest Control #1. Listen to Patrick every Monday. We're right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of little radio stations with little signals that drop off at the edge of town?
He did say,
Oh, bless their hearts. This is the most powerful sports signal in the Panhandle. You found the Sports Talk Monster. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, mostly sunny and a high of 78 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south. Some clouds tonight, a light breeze and hot near 70. Partly sunny and 78 tomorrow. 79 and mostly clouds in the early morning, followed by a possibility of thunderstorms with a gentle breeze Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ready to break free from the ordinary? Find your next escape in a new 2026 Kia Sportage from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia, now offering 0% APR for up to 48 months and a 90-day payment deferral on the purchase of a new 2026 Kia Sportage. There's never been a better time to drive and bid your home. The Sportage delivers bold style, impressive versatility, and a refined interior built for whatever the road takes you to. From daily drives to weekend getaways, stay connected and confident every mile. The road is yours. And remember, Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile powertrain warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com.
Offer from Kia Finance America on the purchase of a new 2026 Kia Sportage with $20.83 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers valid through 5/4/26.
Operation Spay Bay Vaccine Clinic in Fountain, Florida, coming up May 16th. Yes, at 17822 Center Drive, Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay will be having a vaccination clinic on May 16th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Free rabies vaccines with $20 exam going to be in your area, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on May the 16th in Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay. Get them fixed today.
If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, take us to your leader, you'd bring them to the Coach James Hale Show.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jason Kowaleski, Matt's Fish Sports Nutrition, Jim Brandt, Big James. Jason, I got to hit you up on this. I talked to Jim about it. I believe it was Friday. I think we talked a little bit about it. But I got to talk to you about this, man. Explain to me this. You know, just when I was getting ready to think, if Ryan Day wins one more, we got to say he's one of the best coaches of all time. You get 5 of the top 10 draft picks, players on one school, and you don't even win the Big Ten championship. What's that all about?
Well, they missed a 23-yard field goal. That would have made a big difference. I mean, you're right there.
Team game.
It's hard to win a title, man. It really is. And you had that team at the end of the year in Miami that got hot. You had Indiana with a generational quarterback. Ohio State really, if you look at the team composition, their defense was the best defense all year. But at the quarterback spot and the offensive line, they did kind of at the end of the year show a little inexperience and show some cracks in the armor. Sayan was a first-year starter. I think that kind of hurt them in those big games. He made a couple mistakes in the Indiana game on the quarterback sneak and against Miami, that pick six that really turned the game. Defense wasn't the problem. Arbel Reese was amazing. Downs, those guys were generational talents, and everybody's like, how they not win a title? Well, they did win it the year before with all those guys, and every single one of them got drafted off that team. It just proves it's hard to win a title. I mean,
back-to-back is really hard.
I mean, it's definitely hard. I thought they made some mistakes and could have, played a little bit better in that Miami game. But with a first-year quarterback, it's definitely hard.
Here's a factor that a lot of people down here may overlook. To me, the offense was the issue in both those games. Brian Hartline, who was the offensive coordinator, had taken a job at South Florida. Mm-hmm. And I know other coaches at Alabama, so don't go there with all that, had taken a job. You can't serve two masters.
Right.
You're trying to be the offensive coordinator at Columbus and still get people to go to Tampa. It's like you can't do two things.
And he wasn't no Chip Kelly either, let's be honest.
Yeah,
he didn't have much experience.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of experience. So you combine all those together, really good competition, a kind of distracted offensive coordinator. They just took the play calling away from him at Miami. And it and people act like they were blown out. They lost by 3 points to Indiana and by like 14 to Miami, and one of them was in like the last 2 minutes.
And you got to look at that.
Pick six, Miami too.
Yeah, early in the game. So but you got to give Miami credit in that game, and their defensive lines were two of the best all year. Right. I mean, and if you look at the draft, they had 4 offensive linemen drafted, all their defensive line banged. Right. So it's not like they lost to
and we went through the same thing. We had like one year we had probably the best defense player coming back in the country, and I think the Heisman Trophy quarterback. Kind of like y'all had the best defense and the best offense player in the country on one team. And that's why you don't see it happening a lot where teams win it 2 times in a row. I don't think we've ever seen any team win it 3 years in a row. It's so hard to do.
There's so many good teams with NIL. The talent spread out. But I will say this: Ryan Day adapts. He tries to look at himself and look at the program, and he continues to adapt. So that's why he went out and got Arthur Smith. The offensive line was kind of the weak spot last year. He's known in the NFL as an offensive guru on the offensive line, run game. He was offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh the year before. They hit a real home run with getting Patricia, so they re-signed him, went and got a super experienced NFL offensive coordinator to come in. So Ryan Day, and he's got flaws, let's be honest, but every coach has got flaws. You know that with DeBoer. We've seen Kirby make some mistakes in their playoff game. We've seen Dan Lanning, the next Messiah, come in and get beat down by these teams in the playoffs. There's no perfect coach out there, and I know everybody's on the Cignetti bandwagon, but let's see how he can sustain that before we anoint him the king of college football too. Ryan Day's got flaws, but I will say this: when he sees something that's wrong, he goes out and addresses it. And I think Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, is going to be a big deal for Ohio State this year.
Even Saban, when a lot of teams thought it was the best Alabama football team ever until they played out in California against Clemson and got embarrassed.
Right.
So you're correct. All right, we got to address the elephant in the room. I've been so hard on the mighty SEC, and I want to apologize to all my SEC fans out there. And how could I have turned on you? And now that I see that I was wrong, I'll admit it. The SEC still is the king of college football. They are. I mean, 87 players drafted. The Big Ten, 68. The best players are in the SEC. If you got the best players, don't you have to say it's the best conference?
Yeah, the best players in round 5 through 7. The most first-round picks.
Can I say this? Would y'all be okay with this? The SEC is the best conference, top to bottom, in college football. But the best coaches, the best development is done in the Big Ten.
I wouldn't even agree with that right now, because just because you have the best talent, we've seen it with Ohio State, doesn't mean you're the best team.
James, he won't even give an inch.
The SEC hasn't played for a national title in 3 years. And if you go head-to-head, the Big Ten has beaten the SEC in bowl games and in the playoffs the last 3 years. So, I mean, I look at the results on the field, not who got the more draft picks.
All right, let's look at the bowl games. No, let's don't.
Yeah.
No, let's don't.
Let's look at the playoffs.
Let's just look at NFL draft. Can we just focus on that?
I will say the draft again. If you look at the draft, SEC had the most players. That means the SEC is developing players, because you can't take a guy that graduates from high school at 18 and drop him in the NFL. Not going to happen.
Yes.
Can't happen.
Yeah.
You have to have
talk to me,
development
baby. Tell
into
me.
those people, into those kids, to get them to the NFL level. And the SEC right now is apparently the best at doing it.
But I think also NFL drafts on potential as well, and they see a good athlete. That doesn't mean they were developed. And to me, the results on the field matter. If you're winning the games, that's the ultimate.
That's the measuring strip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're here to win.
So I was going to give you guys a hard time. I was going to say a lot of different things.
I do think the SEC's deeper as far as there's more teams.
No, let's keep it
in
real.
the middle.
No, keep it real.
Let's look at the numbers here. The problem with just who got more players drafted, the Big Ten's got a lot of teams, but they had 7 teams that only contributed 4 players.
Right.
You got Maryland 1, Nebraska 1, Rutgers 1, Minnesota 1, and then Wisconsin 0, Purdue 0, UCLA 0. And USC for being the big powerhouse, they had three. So I would agree that SEC probably top to bottom probably got a little bit more depth because the Big Ten, the bottom feeders are not real good.
Exactly.
I said last year when the coaching hires in the Big Ten I thought were better than the SEC's past cycle. I mean, we might be wrong because Florida I think is going to do really well, and I think Auburn's going to do really well.
But you also had Penn State and Michigan down too this last year, so you add them in. It's very close. I mess around with you because we have fun with it, but you're splitting hairs when you talk about the depth of a conference.
But the bottom line, we've always thrown it in your face. Look at the bowl games.
Sure.
Look at the draft picks. Look at the championships. We rubbed it in, man. Now we got to take it. We have not played for a national championship in 3 years.
You better win in baseball because we're going to rub it in your face if you don't.
We got beaten in the bowl game.
What's going to happen when UCLA in the Big Ten wins baseball?
We'll take the day off.
They'll celebrate women's college.
How much time we got?
Softball.
We got 2 minutes on the dot.
2 minutes. All right. I want to get this in here, and I hope I wrote this down right. Since 2000, most first-round draft picks by conferences. It's not even close. SEC 209, Big Ten 129, ACC 116, Pac-12, which is dead gone and buried thanks to you guys, 97, Big 12 86, American 15, the MAC 11, Mountain West 11, Conference USA 10, and Sun Belt 2. So
if you're going back 20 years, for sure, SEC was better. I mean, they won 18 of the there's no debate. I'm not even going to try and make myself look stupid by twisting myself trying to SEC dominated from 2000 to 2019.
Do you remember that we talked about that? We said, look at what the Big Ten's doing. I said, this worries me. They're going from coast to coast. They're getting all these huge TV markets. They got multiple TV deals. We stuck with ABC, woke. We were the woke people of the world. We gave up CBS, which was so good to us over all those years, all those championship years. We had ESPN and CBS. We were on a lot more different networks. I think we screwed up.
And people were like, why are they getting Rutgers? Why are they bringing Maryland in? It brought in 10 million viewers, and it brought in money, and now their contracts are more than the SEC.
Max Fitzpatrick Street, talk about real
quick.
We're
on 23rd Street, Del Coronado Village. I'm there every day 2 to 7. You can bring a son, daughter in, get them a little bit of an edge. We've got their in-body 570, and we're in Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods.
All right, I'll see you Friday. We're out, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Wake up with ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show drags you out of bed weekdays 7 to 9.